Well, good morning. So today has been super great. I got up early, took Smokey out for a walk, and it was beautiful out. I'm really so happy to be back out there taking the walks and just getting fresh air and getting that vitamin D. I don't know how people manage vitamin D when they're living in like super cloudy weather. Like I think of Forks, Oregon, where Twilight was at. I don't know how they do not stay depressed, but nonetheless, even though I hate the sun because it's so hot, I do love the fact that it is sunny. Yesterday I went across town in my car and my car had broken down again, but thankfully my son had fixed it again. God bless children. And it was funny because I was turning a corner into Office Max because I needed to get this flyer that I had created, and it got printed out, so I needed it. And like my lights started flashing and everything was going chaotic, and so I was like, I better pull into a spot before I can't pull into any place, because it's so embarrassing if you break down like in an intersection. Like I can't push my car, So anyways, I made it to a parking spot and I had to leave it overnight, and I Ubered home, which I always love to Uber anyway, so that was fun. It was only like $5, so it's almost worth it just to Uber there and back, I think, with gas. Anyhow, I did that, and then my son had to fix the car, and then yesterday I went across town and it was all rainy and stuff, which was really great when I went into the library, and then when I came out it was so hot and humid. So that's kind of today too. It's like inside the apartment it's around 80, but if you go outside it's only like 82, so it feels like you shouldn't turn your air on, because if you could survive 82 outside, then you should be able to survive it inside, but then you start to get hot. It's just madness. But I am glad that the rains have showed up. I had a counseling session this morning, but we decided that we were going to postpone it for a while because I'm not a big wallower. Like, I'm not a very good victim either. Sometimes things get real heavy and I have to talk about it, and then I just move forward. Like, I have to speak it out loud, maybe get some other opinion. And typically, therapists will use words that help you feel like you're not crazy, make you feel like your feelings are valid, and possibly even name what your feelings are. Like my one always is like, I'm so abandoned. But that's because I'm adopted, so that's just naturally what comes to mind. So after last session, which I was able to like kind of throw up my emotions, especially after the surgery, then I just felt great all week. And it was really cool in a sense because she gave me a homework assignment. She actually sent me a book, which I'm excited to read once it gets here. I want to say it's called Fearless, something like that, but it's from a Christian author, and I do like the author, so I'm excited to read that. And then she gave me the assignment to take a piece of paper and write down things that I believed about myself. And then I could either put them up throughout the house, or I could just make a point to look at it every day, kind of thing. And that is a really cool thing. I don't believe I need it though. Like, I'm not, like, there definitely have been times where I had self-esteem issues, but not really self-esteem issues so much as self-contempt issues, where you don't feel good enough. But with age, I don't know if it's that or if it's the mere fact that I just don't care what other people think. Like, I'm just going to be myself, and I will shine bright like a diamond regardless of how you look at me or want to friend me or whatever the case may be. I don't need to be emotionally babysat necessarily. Like, words of affirmation are super cool. I'm terrible typically at saying them directly, even though I'm very encouraging. But I have learned to become more like that because my children need that. And 2 of them, at least, that's their love language. So I really have to sometimes push myself to do it because it's just not something that comes natural to me. But I don't really need it. I mean, it's great if you want to say I did a good job, but my love language is physical touch. So if you hug me, that's to me more valuable than saying that I did a good job at something, even though I do appreciate feeling thanked for things that I do, you know, that kind of thing. But I don't really have, like, I don't need to believe that I'm smart or things like that, because I already know I am. Which isn't being conceited, but it's okay. It's okay that I believe in myself, and it's okay that I feel like I don't have to beg other people's opinions on who I am anymore. Because I know probably during high school, which is your normal age, you know, grade school is your normal age to feel those things. But really in the middle of high school, I think, is when I realized, like, who cares? Like, I want to stand out, and I want to be different, and I want to be unique, and I want to be remembered for meaningful things, even if that means, like, well, she was weird, or she dressed weird, or, you know, whatever it may be. So I didn't end up doing that self-esteem situation, but I was happy that she was at least offering things that you go forward with. Sometimes it's like you just talk and talk and talk and talk, and that's great. But sometimes you need actions behind the talking so that you're actually developing good habits. And those habits are the things that give you the tools to change your mindset. So, you know, I mean, altogether, that was such a cool idea. But me personally, I didn't really need it. But I was grateful for her. And I really like her. She has adopted kids. So we talked about that and how crazy we are. So, you know, we did meet on a good level. Plus the fact she was a Christian, which was really cool, because she and I were both agreeing on what we believed and keeping it simplistic instead of getting all into the theories, and that can become chaos, especially because I think that religion really can become under the umbrella of organized religion, which is its own beast. And I think there's a place for it, but that's between you and God. Like, I don't know. I am more and more leery about things like that. Even though I'm pro-church, you know, like, I'd love for Charlie to go to church. That would be awesome. But as of right now, we're all just standing on the foundation of Jesus. So that's good for us. So yeah. So anyways, then I met with somebody today and taught them a little bit more about social media and how to use, especially Facebook and the promo ads for his band, which is very fun for me because it enlightens and makes my brain think. The social media itself, that beast is like a lot. You know, there's so many creativeness. There's no box to put it into. You can just really be so creative. And so him and I talking and him understanding, like, here, these are some guidelines that you want to pay attention to, is just super cool. And the fact that he had some knowledge of his cell phone was awesome. Because that's usually the biggest part, is like, they, a lot of times, especially men, don't understand to be gentle with the phone, or, you know, like how to swipe here and there and go back and forth and stuff like that. So that was really cool. And it made me feel good to share, you know, some of the things that I do in order to get the bands promoted here in town. So, I think that's about it for today. It's just been a pretty great day. I'm going to eat some soup right now. Fry's had the frozen wontons. on sale, buy one get one, so I got 2 bags of that. So I do find that making kind of like chicken bouillon, because I use Knorr and water, so it's basically just chicken bouillon, and I find that that's cheaper than having to buy those cartons of chicken broth, and more flavorful. And then I'll add a couple things to the soup, and then that's what I have. And I was thinking about having sushi today, though, to be honest, but the temperature outside is that it's going to be a little bit warm, you know. And my thing is, like, getting in the car right now is fine. Getting to Fry's is fine, but then you have to park at Fry's, go into Fry's, buy the stuff, come out, and then that's where it's really hot in the car. Even though I put my shade up and my AC works, it's not the best, but it does work. And so I think, well, do I really want to do all of that? And the answer is no. The answer is I'm just going to eat my wonton soup because it's delicious. I get frozen corn, and I throw the frozen corn in there too, which is really good, but it's on the cob, which I don't know how it is so delicious this way, but it has so much flavor, and maybe it's a process of freezing it that makes it taste so delicious in a soup. And I thought of it when we had, for Mother's Day, we had angry crab, and of course that seafood broil thing, they put in corn on the cob, and that was really good and tasty. And then one day I was just making soup, and I thought, what if I throw in this frozen corn? And it was so delicious. You might have to try it. So basically I just put the water, I get the Knorr seasoning, chicken seasoning, and spice it up to what I want it to be. And then as soon as the water's boiling, you just put in your wontons and that piece of corn, and you're good to go. Like, you just let it boil for maybe 5 minutes, and then I turn the heat off and cover it and just let it sit there for another 5, and then that's it. It's good to go. So anyways, that's my day. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great one. Make sure you drink your water even though it's cooling down. Don't want to forget that. Okay, bye-bye.